Hello friends, my name is RD and welcome back to my channel, Dhode R Vision English. I hope you all are doing great. Today I'm going to explain a beautiful South Korea movie called Love in the Big City, which was released in 2024. The film stars Sang-hyun as the male lead Hong-soo and the stunning Go-eun as the female lead Jae-hee. It has received a 7.4 out of 10 rating on IMDb and a 9.6 out of 10 rating on Viki. But trust me, the story is much more emotional than the numbers suggest. This is a story about two very different personalities brought together by a rare and powerful friendship. Our female lead dares to live life on her own terms, refusing to bow to the rules of a judgmental society. Our male lead isn't what the world would call typical, and that's exactly what makes him special. In a world where people are judged by how they look, what they like, or how they behave, where anyone who doesn't fit into society's narrow standards is quickly targeted, these two stand tall, side by side. So without further delay, let's dive into a film that challenges norms, celebrates individuality, and explores a bond deeper than words. The story opens on a rooftop terrace. Jae-hee, dressed in a white wedding gown, stands at the edge, lost in thought. She takes a drag from her cigarette and looks out over the city. Suddenly, Hong-soo appears beside her. They exchange a knowing smile, full of warmth and shared history. As their eyes meet, the screen fades into the past, back to their college days when they were both in their 20s. In the first scene, a college bus pulls up and stops. Jae-hee hops on, full of life and energy. She lives life on her own terms. In class, she stands out, especially in French. Her French professor is clearly impressed by her fluency and confidence. In contrast, Hong-soo is quiet, reserved, and socially distant. He prefers to keep to himself and struggles to connect with others. The next day after class, students in a group chat are buzzing about Jae-hee. Some of the boys find her attractive and assume that her open nature means she might be romantically available. The girls, meanwhile, are jealous, annoyed at how quickly Jae-hee is becoming popular. That night at a nightclub, something unexpected happens. Jae-hee walks past a quiet area and catches a surprising scene. Hong-soo kissing his French male professor passionately. She laughs loudly, not out of malice but out of shock, and the moment confirms what she already sensed. It becomes clear Hong-soo liked men. Hong-soo, feeling exposed and scared of judgment, has always kept his sexuality a secret. The next morning, gossip spreads like wildfire. Someone claims they saw a professor with a boy at a nightclub, and the boy looked just like Hong-soo. As everyone starts whispering and staring, Hong-soo becomes visibly anxious. Just then, Jae-hee walks up to him casually and hands him a lighter, teasing him. "Your sleeping face last night was hilarious." Her boldness and humour confuse the classmates. They assume they must have been wrong and that Hong-soo had spent the night with her instead. Looking at the lighter in his hand, Hong-soo starts to feel curious about this bold, strange girl who just saved his reputation. She was already famous at school, known for going to clubs every night and having a new boyfriend every month. But none of it seemed to bother her. She never cared about her reputation. One day, a photo of a girl's chest appeared on the school forum. The male students started claiming it was Jae-hee. No one defended her, except Hong-soo. He called them disgusting for spreading lies. Then, something unexpected happened. Jae-hee lifted her shirt right there in class, showing everyone that the photo wasn't of her. It was the boldest way she could prove her innocence. Somehow, these two outsiders, him, the quiet one with secrets, and her, the fearless one with none, were drawn to each other. They became best friends. One night, Jae-hee told Hong-soo to just be himself. She never saw him as different. She told him she had lived in France. He asked her if French people cared about homosexuality. She replied simply, "Idiots exist everywhere, but there are fewer in France." Unlike Hong-soo, Jae-hee never cared about others' opinions. She fell in love boldly, bought pretty clothes for herself, and dressed up beautifully. What she feared most was not doing what she wanted in time. So she ignored the rumours. But Hong-soo was different. He was scared. He feared his sexuality would be exposed and tried hard to hide it. At a college event, he met a boy named Soo-ho. They fell in love at first sight and opened up to each other quickly. Soo-ho was expressive and affectionate, using physical gestures to show how he felt. Hong-soo felt the same way but carried a burden deep inside. Soo-ho wanted a real long-term relationship, something steady and open. But Hong-soo couldn't give him that. Fear kept him locked inside himself. He couldn't bring their relationship into the light. The only person he felt truly safe around was Jae-hee. Jae-hee, meanwhile, was dealing with her own disappointments. Her boyfriend seemed like the perfect student, polite, responsible, dependable. But underneath, he was just a spoiled mama's boy. Tired of the lies, she broke up with him. That night, while she was collecting laundry, she felt a presence. A man was watching her from the shadows. Her heart froze. But just then, Hong-soo appeared and chased the man down. Together, they took him to the police. For the first time, Jae-hee felt protected. Worried for her safety, Hong-soo decided to move in with her. They signed a co-living agreement and began sharing a home. Not as lovers, but as something just as intimate. Friends, housemates, kindred souls. They watched movies late into the night, studied side by side, shared food, clothes and secrets. There were no walls between them. Days turned into weeks, then months. Without even realizing it, they had spent a full year living like that, like family. But things changed, tensions built. They started arguing more often, usually about their boyfriends. Jae-hee's new boyfriend had a habit of liking other girls' posts online. It made her uneasy. Her instincts told her something was off. When she confronted him, he smiled and said the girl was his sister. He praised her beauty, told her she had nothing to worry about. Jae-hee wanted to believe him, and for a moment, she did. But one night, at a crowded club event, she saw the girl in person and recognized the truth instantly. That wasn't his sister. That was his real girlfriend. When Jae-hee confronted her boyfriend, he didn't apologize. Instead, he defended the other girl and insulted Jae-hee. He said no man would ever take her seriously, calling her a dirty rag because of her revealing clothes and string of breakups. His words shattered her. Feeling crushed, she called Hong-soo and asked him to meet her at a bar. She just needed a friend to cheer her up. But Hong-soo was already facing his own storm. The night before, Soo-ho had invited him to join what he said was a guitar club. Hong-soo believed him, but when he arrived, he realized it was actually an LGBTQ rights group. Fear gripped him. He wasn't ready to be out. As he prepared to leave, the group's booth was suddenly vandalized. He stayed to help Soo-ho, but was beaten by the troublemakers. Because of his injuries, he couldn't meet Jae-hee that night. Unaware of any of this, she waited for him alone at the bar. Tired, hurt, and vulnerable, she accidentally drank a spiked drink from a stranger. While intoxicated, she made a terrible mistake, something that haunted her the next morning. She ran home, furious and ashamed. When she saw the trash still sitting by the door, something Hong-soo had promised to take out, she exploded. But it wasn't really about the trash, it was about him not showing up, about feeling abandoned. Hong-soo, still in pain, snapped too. He accused her of never cleaning up after herself, of leaving hair everywhere. Their fight escalated. Hong-soo slammed the door and left, but as soon as he heard her crying, he paused. He turned back, worried, and asked gently what was wrong. When Jae-hee saw the bruises on his face, her anger faded. She asked what happened. Concern replaced rage. They sat down and ate together in silence, slowly calming down. That night, they shared the parts of themselves no one else had seen. Hong-soo said his mother knew he liked boys. She didn't yell at him, but she started going to church, praying silently in his room each night to drive out the devil. He said he didn't want to die, he just wanted to live. Jae-hee told him about middle school. She once had to draw a milk carton for art class. Everyone else drew perfect, full cartons. She drew a crumpled one. Her classmates laughed at her. They bullied her until she quit school. She learned then, people always attack those who are different. Sharing those memories brought them even closer. The next morning, Hong-soo noticed a tattoo on his wrist. Jae-hee had one too. They suddenly remembered they'd gotten drunk the night before and gone to a tattoo shop, laughing and carefree. That night, drunk and impulsive, they had tattooed each other's names. They swore to be best friends forever. Soon after, Jae-hee found out she was pregnant. Hong-soo went with her to the hospital, but instead of support, the doctor scolded her, blaming the pregnancy on her lack of self-respect. Jae-hee ran out, crying in an alley, overwhelmed by how cruel and judgmental people could be. Hong-soo held her quietly, offering comfort without words. After that, she changed. She cleaned her cluttered desk, focused on her studies, and began searching for a job. It was as if she was trying to become someone the world would accept. Eventually, Hong-soo left for the army. Without him, school felt empty. Jae-hee decided to go to Australia to study English. For years, they kept in touch through postcards. The distance only strengthened their bond. Jae-hee returned to South Korea after graduating and landed a marketing job. Hong-soo completed his military service and came back to their tiny shared apartment, but things were different now. Jae-hee wasn't the same carefree girl. She was tired, always talking about deadlines and difficult bosses. Hong-soo, too, was changing. He started studying for a degree and looking for work. During this time, Jae-hee began dating a lawyer. Meanwhile, Hong-soo's relationship with Soo-ho grew strained. Soo-ho was ready to come out, to live openly, but Hong-soo wasn't. When Soo-ho shared his plan to come out to his family, Hong-soo panicked and ended things, accusing Soo-ho of not understanding his fears. Jae-hee was also losing herself. She went shopping, saw pretty clothes she used to love, but didn't buy them. They weren't office appropriate, or her boyfriend wouldn't approve. She told Hong-soo not to settle too quickly and to follow his dreams. Hong-soo wanted to be a writer, but dreams didn't pay rent, so he chose a safer path, studying a subject he didn't love, sending out resumes to jobs he didn't want. One night on the subway home, Jae-hee saw a woman dressed just like her, slumped over exhausted. In the window's reflection, she saw herself. The spark in her eyes was gone. She was tired too, burned out, changed. That night, their heater broke. To stay warm, they shared the same bed. The next morning, as always, she playfully climbed onto Hong-soo's back, but this time her boyfriend walked in and saw her on Hong-soo's back. Furious, he punched Hong-soo. Trying to protect him, Jae-hee shouted that Hong-soo was gay. Her boyfriend recoiled, called Hong-soo a freak, and demanded she kick him out. Instead, Jae-hee quietly removed her engagement ring, ended things. But Hong-soo felt betrayed. She had revealed his secret so casually, without his consent. Hurt and angry, he decided to move out. Jae-hee argued that hiding who he was wasn't living at all. Their fight exploded, and Hong-soo left with a suitcase. That night, Jae-hee ate dinner alone, the TV flickering without joy. Hong-soo sat staring at the lighter she once gave him. One evening, he finally confessed everything to his praying mother, but she already knew. Later, he found an old movie ticket stub. His mother had kept it. It was for a famous LGBTQ film. That quiet gesture made him feel seen. He began accepting himself. He returned to the LGBTQ group he once feared, where he met Soo-ho again. But Soo-ho had moved on. He had a new boyfriend. Holding back his sorrow, Hong-soo gifted Soo-ho the pair of shoes that once brought them together. Now they marked goodbye. Meanwhile, Jae-hee was still standing up for what mattered. At work, when a colleague made a homophobic joke, she snapped back. That night, she saw lights on at home and smiled, thinking Hong-soo had returned. But it was her ex. He accused her of cheating, then violently attacked her. Bruised and terrified, she ran into the street and called Hong-soo. She said nothing, but he knew. He had already seen missed calls from her ex. He told her to stay strong and call the police. He ran across the city and found her ex at his bar. A fight broke out. When the police arrived, the ex yelled for Hong-soo to prove he was gay. This time, without hesitation, Hong-soo stood tall and said it clearly. He was gay, and Jae-hee was his best friend. Later that night, under the quiet city lights, Hong-soo told Jae-hee about Soo-ho's new boyfriend. He regretted not being brave enough to love openly. Jae-hee said nothing. She just hugged him tightly. She found her courage again. When a senior at work bullied a new hire, she stood up. Outside, she lit a cigarette, defying the company's unwritten rules. A man nearby noticed. Drawn to her honesty, her fire, they slowly fell in love. Seeing her laugh again, Hong-soo felt like the girl he once met had returned. Strong, fearless, glowing. Not long after, it was Jae-hee's wedding day. Hong-soo danced with all his heart. He thanked her for walking beside him through the hardest years. She had helped him see his own worth. After the wedding, he returned to an empty apartment, but not an empty life. He began writing his first novel. On her honeymoon, Jae-hee called him, cheerful as ever, and jokingly suggested a boyfriend for him. Listening to her laugh, Hong-soo smiled, full of love, full of peace. In the end, I just want to say, what truly matters isn't how you look, what you wear, or how your personality fits into someone else's expectations. What matters is having the courage to quiet the unnecessary noise around you, the judgment, the pressure, the assumptions. This story delivers a powerful message. When you embrace who you really are, others will eventually follow. You don't need to change yourself to be accepted. What's meant for you, whether it's love, success, or genuine friendship, will find its way to you when the time is right. So don't lose hope. Keep believing in a brighter life, in love that sees you clearly, and in friendships that stay true. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Tap the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And as always, if there's a movie you'd like me to explain, just drop the name and its country in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and maybe even feature your suggestion in the next video. Thanks for watching, and see you soon with another heart-touching story.